everyone, welcome back to the channel. If you're new around here, welcome. I'm Natalia Lima, founder and owner of Curious Cat Bakery. Today we're doing a little vegan baking pep talk. It's been a minute since we had one of those, so we are long overdue and we need to go into the living room for this one. Right. So I wanted to show you this guy, a Fiddleleaf fig tree. Is that what they're called? Something like that. Some kind of combination of those words. And this thing is totally fake. You know why? Because I failed at raising so many plants. I finally gave in and tried the fake stuff. Now, here's what that has to do with baking. And don't mind the workout gear behind here. I'm gonna work out later. It doesn't matter. So, here's the thing. I saw this TikTok by this guy, and I'll try to insert it here if I can find it. But it was this guy who works at a plant shop, and he was talking about how fiddle leaf fig trees, I think that's what they're called, they get a really bad rep because people see them everywhere. They see them in catalogs, in magazines, stores, and they're like, you know what? I want that aesthetic. I want one of those trees too. But then most people don't know how to take care of them. They just get one and hope that it will survive. Which might have been the approach that I've taken to every single other plant that I've ever owned. And then because people didn't give that fiddle leaf fig tree, I really hope I'm saying this correctly, what it needed, it dies. And then that kind of tree gets a really bad reputation as being a finicky plant that needs some kind of special care and that only a few very smart, amazing, green thumb people can take care of. When at the end of the day, all it really needs is a lot of light and some water. I don't know. Honestly, I don't remember because mine is fake, so it doesn't matter. The thing is, taking care of a real plant is not that hard. You just need to have these very specific rules that you follow, and it's fine. But most people don't bother learning the rules, and so that kind of tree gets a really bad reputation as a finicky tree, when all it did was really, it just had some basic needs that needed to be met and weren't met. So, how does this relate to vegan baking? Well, I would say that vegan cakes are pretty much the equivalent of that fig tree and give vegan baking a really bad rep. That's really not fair. Vegan cakes are usually the entryway to vegan baking, if you will. People will promise that they will make a vegan cake for a friend, or they have a kid that has allergies and they just decide to go for vegan baking, starting with a birthday cake, which is a pretty big project. And then they Google it and they don't bother to learn the rules of vegan baking or what works and doesn't work. They just follow what Google tells them, or they follow that recipe they found online without questioning why it would or wouldn't work. And when it fails, well, it's kind of a public shaming, isn't it? Because you either show up with a disgusting cake that everyone is going to taste and you're gonna be like, I'm so sorry. It's the best I could do with a vegan cake. It's really gross. You guys know that I'm a really great usual baker, like with stuff that's not vegan, but with vegan stuff, like this is the best I could do. Or you have to tell that friend of yours, I'm really sorry. I tried, but it just like was impossible. So there is no cake. And even if they were just trying not for an occasion, but they were just trying it for themselves, most people don't bake something and eat the whole thing by themselves. They will share it with their significant others, with their families, and everyone will get to weigh in on how terrible this recipe, this cake, this vegan creation was. Vegan baking gets villainized and it takes the rep for this failed attempt. All of a sudden, all vegan baking is awful, all vegan cakes are terrible, don't try it, don't even bother, this is horrible, why did I even try it in the first place? It's a little dramatic, isn't it? But really, vegan cakes are just like that tree, and they shouldn't give vegan baking a bad rep. Just like that tree that only needed some sunlight and some water. That's the thing with vegan baking too. There's a few rules that you need to follow and then you're fine. It's not that hard, you guys. If I learned it and I never knew how to bake anything, anyone can learn it. You just need to know what the rules are and then you can get better at it. You can't expect to be good at chess if you don't know the rules for it. And honestly, vegan baking, I think it's a lot less like chess. It's more like hopscotch, to be honest. Like, you need to know the basic rules to it and you're fine. It's really manageable. And I have a whole playlist of videos that explain for beginner vegan bakers what those rules are. You might want to watch that next. I'll put the link in the description below. Anyways, this was my soapbox for today. I hope this little pep talk helps you understand that vegan baking is not impossible, and not just for the gifted, chosen ones out there. It's a skill. You need to know how to do it, and you need to practice it. And you'll get there too, I promise. So if you like this video, make sure you give it a like and subscribe to the channel so other vegans can see it in the algorithm. And I will see you guys here next week with more on vegan baking. I'll talk to you soon. Until then, stay curious.